Guilt and its associates plague a great many billions of people, and as we all know, they create states of powerlessness and scarcity. Attachment to guilt, identifying with guilt and its associates, is perhaps the most weakening types of attachment a human being can get into, and that is why we address it here. The idea that I am guilty or he is guilty is the most devastating forms of identification. Humans have all sorts of opinions on guilt. There are even segments of humanity that believe guilt is good, that guilt helps, guilt works, and so on. Yet, it is not your fault that the energies of anger exists, or that duality exists, polarity exists, and it is certainly not your fault that the universe works the way it does. We have heard enough about guilt from a human perspective, from a great many people, including our parents, teachers, religions, our friends and family, the government, and let's not forget the lawyers and the court system. So, enough of that. Instead, let us examine guilt from the eyes of someone who is outside the human system of thought. And for this, I selected the following quotes from a collective that goes by the name of Bashar. As they are channeled, they represent a non-human perspective, and that opens the door to thinking outside the box. Because we need to go beyond A4 thinking here. We need to get out of the box when it comes to talking about guilt. So now, I read the quoted paragraphs from the collective known as Bashar. One of the key ideas engendered upon your planet long ago is the idea of guilt. Not that other civilizations do not experience it, but you have delved so very deeply and so very strongly into it that your civilization, among the many civilizations that we have encountered, has an expertise that is matched by none. Not that this makes you any less. In fact, the idea of your willingness to even experience such limitation in many ways actually makes you strong, and is, in and of itself, an indication of how strong you are, to be able to subject yourself to such degrees of limitation. This allows you to create many wondrous occasions of self-incrimination, self-invalidation, self-limitation, segregation, and separation in your lives. And many times it is the primary ingredient, the primary symbol to allow you to prevent yourself from creating in your lives what you prefer, what you desire, what you know deep within you is what you deserve to experience in your lives. How many of you truly believe that you are ready to handle absolute, infinite, unending ecstasy? A great many of you, because of your training, fear ecstasy quite a bit. Or you at least contain belief systems that are self-regulating, in the sense that when you finally do create something that seems to be going the right way, you say, well, this is jolly, how long can this last? So you always cut yourselves off. As soon as you impose that restriction on yourself through your belief system, the universe says, all right, if that's the way you want it, cut. Instantly. You are that powerful. You have always gotten everything you believed that you could get, or perhaps even more importantly for many of you, everything you believed you deserved to get. For deservability is a big issue with most individuals in your civilization. I deserve the negativity, or I deserve the positivity. Guilt is what will always perpetuate limitation, always perpetuate separation. It keeps you from recognizing your own self-empowerment and your own connection to the infinite creation. For recognize that, fundamentally speaking, while many of you for a long period of time have assumed that hate is the opposite of love, guilt is the true opposite of love. Hate may be the dynamic polarity expression of love, but guilt is the true mechanical opposite. For love is complete and utter self-worthiness and creativity, while guilt is the belief in lack of self-worth. It stifles creativity. Hate involves the concept that you deserve something, whereas guilt is completely devoid of the sense of deservability. In fact, guilt is the denial of your very existence. Therefore, the belief in your lack of self-deservability allows you to be able to create a scenario in which you actually keep at bay all the things in life that are yours by birthright, such as happiness, ecstasy, and creativity. Guilt is the bitter pill that was injected into your society by your society to keep you in the status quo of lack of self-empowerment. Because when you truly believe you are not connected to all that is, or God, or Source, the infinite creation, when you truly believe that you must control by force in order to get anything at all in life, then do you father the continuation of limitation? Then do you father the continuation of guilt? I will read that again. When you truly believe that you are not connected to Source, the infinite creation, when you truly believe that you must control by force in order to get anything at all in life, then do you father the continuation of limitation and the continuation of guilt. This scenario has become the very ethic of your society. When you do not believe you are connected, you thus do not believe you can create things you desire in your lives with great ease and effortlessness, and things become worthless to you if you don't create suffering in order to get them. No pain, no gain, as you would say. When you are told a story in your world and that story contains pain and conflict, struggle and strife, you say, "Oh my, very realistic story." When you're told a story where it says, "and they lived happily ever after," you say, fairy tale, that's not real life. There is absolutely nothing within the creation of the universe that insists that the story containing the conflict is any more real than the one that does not. It is your choice, out of your habits, to believe that pain is more real than joy. So, as we said, this has become the ethic of your entire civilization, that you cannot have anything in your life that is worthwhile unless you have suffered, unless you have, as you say, earned it. But do recognize that you do not have to earn it. You already own it. You were created from ecstasy. You were created out of love and light. It is your birthright. Everything you do can be an act of love, done with an effortless ease of creativity. You are made in the image of the infinite creator, and that means quite simply that you are infinite creators and multi-dimensional ones as well. This is a natural you. If you'll allow yourself to realize that you no longer need the tool of guilt, you will then give yourselves the expansiveness of your birthright. You will allow yourself the expressiveness of your vitality, and you will then be able, with all clear consciousness, to create and attract into your lives the things that you know you deserve. You will find that when you remove guilt from your toolbox, what is left will be this recognition and realization that nothing is too simple or too good to be true. Nothing. Any exceptions, Bashar? No, not one. Nothing is too simple or too good to be true, and nothing is too wondrous or too ecstatic to be yours. Nothing. You deserve all you can conceive of because you exist. And if you exist, then obviously all that is, the infinite creator believes that you deserve to exist. If you exist with the desire for creating peace, harmony, joy, and ecstasy in your lives, then know that you're not created with that desire without also having been created with the ability to attract that into your lives. Your awareness of that idea in and of itself is sufficient to bring it to you. Creation holds nothing back from you, and it never has. Never. In all circumstances in your life, each and every one of you has always been supported 100% by the universe. You are not ever given a desire without also being given the ability to accomplish that desire. The universe and infinite creation does not do extraneous and pointless things. Therefore, since you did not have to do anything special in order to deserve existence, since obviously all that is believes that you deserve to exist, give yourselves the same benefit of the doubt. Treat yourselves with the same unconditional love and respect. Grant yourselves permission and grant yourselves the right to create life as you desire it to be, for you have the ability to create it that way. All you need do is remind yourself that your ability to conceive of the idea is, in and of itself, the indication of your ability to create that idea. Again, you are multi-dimensional creators, and as you think, as you feel, and as you believe, so you experience the creation of the physical reality around you. Always, no exceptions. Great. So that was a reading from Bashar's materials. And to wrap this up, let's see what Michael Singer has to say about this in his book, The Untethered Soul. I quote and paraphrase. There is nothing wrong with feeling the energies of fear, jealousy, anger, shame, repulsion, attraction, or any other form of negativity. There is also nothing wrong with experiencing negative thoughts. It's not your fault that such energies exists. All the attractions, repulsions, thoughts, and feelings don't make any difference. They don't make you pure or impure because they are not you. They are simply phenomena. You are the one who's watching, and that one is pure consciousness. Don't think you'd be free if you just didn't have these kinds of feelings and thoughts. It's not true. Instead, if you can be free even though you're having these kinds of feelings and thoughts, then you're really free. Because there will always be something. There will always be negative and positive energy. We live in a realm of duality, of polarity. You cannot get rid of polarity, of negative and positive, of dark and light. They are building materials of 3D experience. You do not need to get rid of them. On the contrary, transformation and transcendence comes when you love unconditionally. Transformation is what integrates and moves these energies to higher frequencies of light and love, thus liberating them in a holistic fashion. You are not required to get rid of them. You only are required not to identify with them, not to make them your identity, not to believe you are them. Again, it is not required to get rid of anything. All that is required is to let go of identifying with anything in particular, whether positive or negative. You are the infinite witness. You love all creation unconditionally. When you identify with anything, whether positive or negative, you limit yourself and block yourself. I, me, mine is the identity position that creates limitation and suffering. That is all. There is nothing wrong with feeling positive and negative energies. Simply avoid identifying with any of them.